Point of Impact Podcast here. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe. Putting together a podcast was a little harder than I thought. Kind of doing everything on my own, learning, grinding. I'm going to keep putting the work in. I didn't say much during Christmas. I know everyone was busy, stressed out, doing their best to buy gifts for the loved ones, whether you can afford it or not, and attempting to find some kind of joy amongst all the wrapping paper and self-checkout lines. I know how that goes. Spent a lot of holidays away from home and away from the people that I love. I taught myself how to block it all out. Now I'm learning how to feel again. Not to let things that have already happened dictate how I feel about things that are to come. I mean, when you think about it, yesterday has nothing to do with tomorrow. Cut yourself some slack. Just try letting go of some of the things you can't change. Focus on today. If you don't like the way things are going, do something to remedy that. No one will do it for you. If you don't see the book on the shelf that you want, hey, write it. There's no secret answer to life's problems, but tough times don't last. Tough people do. So get tough. I got a tattoo on my chest. It says, struggle builds character. And hardships often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary circumstances. We've all heard the cliche that when one door opens, or when one door closes, another door opens. Helen Keller took it a step further, and she says that we oftentimes look so long at the closed door that we don't see the one that's open. Don't sit there soaking in your sorrows. You're not going to find a solution there. If you're going through something and you don't know how to get through it, you don't like the way things are going, you don't like the way you're feeling, you're not sure how you're feeling, you just know that maybe you need to alter your course, try to do something different. Man, you can't wait for someone else to come along and fix your problems or to hear the right thing on a podcast or, there's no magic wands in real life. So you got to take the first step. You got to make the first move. And I can't promise that you'll have the support at first, but it is without a doubt that people are more willing to help someone that is willing to help themselves. I think we all know that. There's no magic trick that you can learn, no hocus pocus that makes problems disappear into thin air. And to this day, I've never figured out how to pull a rabbit out of my hat. I mean, I don't know what it is. But it's a brand new year. 2026 is upon us. It is here, it is live, and it is in full effect. I've always been a huge fan of New Year's resolutions. Looking forward to bigger and brighter days, to setting goals, to becoming a better person. It takes some self-reflection and a dose of honesty. I mean, let's face it. We all have that resolution that we tell everyone, like the sociably acceptable one, or the one that's trendy, the one that kind of fits in with what everyone else is doing. And then there's the New Year's resolutions that we set for ourselves, like when we're sitting alone, that we're too embarrassed to talk about. The ones we've been thinking about since November. Yeah, that thing. The thing we're promising ourselves we're going to do it this year. Well, I want you to know that you can do it. Even if it's hard, you can do it. Next time you pass a mirror, stop, spend a few seconds face to face with yourself. If you're anything like me, you're your biggest fan and sometimes your own worst enemy. Be that as it may, I am the captain of my own ship, and it is up to me, come hell or high water, to weather the storm and to stand firm until the dawn of a new day. It's not a revelation that the only limits in life are the ones that we set for ourselves. And you can achieve anything that the mind conceives. I was born to succeed, not to fail. I was born to triumph, not to bow my head in defeat. I was born to toast victories, not to whimper and whine. What happened to me? When did my dreams all fade into gray mediocrity, where average people applaud each other as excellent? No person is ever so much deceived by another as he is by himself. Why do I always try to cover my small accomplishments under blankets of words that make light of my work or excuses for my lack of ability? Worst of all, I've come to believe my excuses, so that I willingly sell my day for pennies while consoling myself with thoughts that it could always be worse. That's what we tell ourselves when we're not living up to the standards that we know we can, or when we know that we could be doing something better. We trick ourselves into saying, well, it could always be worse. Now, I know that there are three classes of people in the world. The first, sorry about the dog. I know that there are three classes of people in the world. The first learn from their own experiences. These people are wise. The second learn from experience of others. These people are happy. The third neither learn from their own experiences or from the experience of others. And these people are fools. I like to think that I'm not a fool. How foolish I was when I stood in despair by the side of the road and envied the successful and the wealthy as they paraded by. Are they blessed with unique skills or rare intelligence? Do they have heroic courage, enduring ambition, and other outstanding qualities that I do not possess? Have they been allotted more hours in the day in which to perform their mighty task? Do they have hearts full of compassion and souls overflowing with love that are different from mine? No. God plays no favorites. We are all fashioned from the same clay. I realize that the sadness and the setbacks of my life are not unique to me. Other people are going through the same situation that I've been through, and probably worse. Even the wisest and most successful of our world suffer chapters of heartbreak and failures. But they, unlike me, have learned that there is no peace without trouble, that there is no rest without strain, and no laughter without sorrow. There's no victory without struggle, and that is the price we pay for living. Success, when it happens overnight, often departs with the dawn. I am prepared now for a lifetime of happiness. The path that I've walked, often dampened by my tears, has not been a wasted journey. I was at the lowest place in my life, but I should have known it is in that moment that the tide always turns. And that, my friends, is the point of impact. And that's why we're here, to make an impact in people's lives, to make an impact in my life. If something's going on, I get to come out here and I get to share it. I get to talk about it. I get to get it off my chest. And the same goes for you. We're going to set it up so that people can chime in, people can chat. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm really bad with technology. That's what happens when you spend over a decade away from the world. But listen, we're going to get it together, because I'm in this with you, and we're going to get through it together. No longer will I look mournfully to the past. It will never return. Instead, I will shape the present because it is mine, and I will go forth to meet the mysterious future without fear and doubt and despair. I was formed in the image of God. There is nothing that I cannot achieve if I try. The only valid price tag is the one we attach ourselves to. If we price ourselves too low, then the world will agree. But if we price ourselves with the very best, the world will also willingly accept that evaluation. In the past, to have any goals, either large or small, seemed no more than an exercise in foolishness, since I had so little faith in my ability. To drift from day to day is easy. No skill is required, nor effort or pain. On the other hand, to set goals for a day or a week or a month, and to obtain these objectives, it is almost never easy. Tomorrow I will begin, I will tell myself, not knowing that tomorrow is only found in the calendar of fools. Sometimes tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. I have been wasting my life in deliberation and procrastination. Had I not realized something so very important, that there is an immeasurable distance between late and too late. Sure, I'm late on a lot of things. I learned everything the hard way, to be honest. There is a difference between late and being too late. The only time it's too late is when someone's gone. They're not coming back. Then yeah, it might be too late. But as long as you're breathing, it's never too late. I had been living in Fool's Alley, always intending on making new and better life, but never finding the time to do it. If I were to put off eating, drinking, and sleeping from one day to the next, the way I do some of my goals, eventually I'd be dead. I know where I am. I also know where I want my goals to take me. Once I did bargain with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. Now I invest in myself. Now I know my worth. Now I'll build my brand. But beware and be yourself. To thine own self be true. No one else can accomplish your goals or make you whole if you're missing parts of yourself. Be the glue that holds all those parts together. Know that whatever happens this year, you'll get through it, and we'll get through it together. I've got your back because you got mine. This is the Point of Impact podcast, and this is Michael Huffman signing off. God bless and Godspeed.